Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome to a brand new series from Wolverine Studios. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2019, episode number 1. But oh wait, if you have seen my previous series, this is a rollover from that. It is a new series if you have not seen my previous series on Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2017. That is okay. You do not have to see that before jumping in here. There is a bit of a rollover from that series to this one, though, so we'll go over those changes and similarities here briefly before getting things started. First off, I am using a mod this time around. Last time I went with the stock game files, kept it as it was. This time, though, I am using the mod created by NCAA Hoops, the full college mod that brings all of the real-world colleges into the game, the real tournaments into the game. So thank you, NCAA Hoops, for your hard work on that one. And with that, let's get to the game. So the subtle changes. First off, I am back. I have reset my age to the current age. We got through a full 21 seasons. It was 2038 at the end of the previous playthrough. It was 62 episodes in that long-running series. Now, my attributes are almost identical. One little change, my ambition has gone up a little bit. We ended that series getting promoted. I had reset things to a promotion relegation league instead of the standard NCAA, and I have done the same here. So this is a lower league manager style challenge, a road to glory style challenge. There were 23 divisions that the NCAA was split up to, and we started with 0 prestige, and in that bottom 23rd tier, at the end of the series, we won the conference championship in the 7th tier, and we're being promoted to the 6th tier. That's where I'm at now. So this is the 6th tier, aka Conference F, as it is alphabetical in the way that that is set up. So we are in Conference F this time. That one thing is my ambition's a little bit higher now, because now I'm looking to actually get somewhere in the NCAA tournament in those 21 seasons. For one thing, I ended with 7 straight NCAA tournament bids, but we never got further than the Sweet 16. We got there twice, but we never got deeper than that. So ambition's a little bit higher, as that's still my target. The other attributes are the same. My philosophies are identical, and my skills are exactly where I left off as a coach, with 85s top to bottom, other than my scouting ability being a bit lower, as a lot of the direct scouting was done by my assistant coaches, and I didn't go watch players as much because we were on a really low budget. And it was part of their budget internally to go do those things automatically, and it didn't cost. But it did if I went to scout. So the school info. We are the Olympic Decathlon rings. Yes, this is the same. We are still located in Portland, playing at the Mount Olympus Center. Here's one small change. New edition of the game. I figured it was time for some upgrades, so we upgraded our stadium from 5,800 capacity to 7,800. Our facilities are still at a level B, which, by the way, that started as a D at the beginning of this playthrough 21 seasons ago, and back in that previous edition. The academics also, slight upgrade there. School worked really hard. They've been bringing in a lot of money from this awesome basketball program. They even started a football program. Go check out that other playthrough that just started, Draft Day Sports College Football. That's 3 episodes in right now. So they've had enough money to invest into a new football program, and so we also built some new buildings on campus, and it raised our academics profile from a B+ to an A-. Again, we are playing in Conference F now. The conference prestige is at 50, and the team prestige has slowly risen from nothing to a 36. With the new academic score, our minimum SAT score has gone from a 960 to a 980. Otherwise, we are still rivaled with Portland. I have my own logo this time, though I did not create my own team court. I have borrowed one from my alma mater, the University of Oregon, Matthew Knight Arena. And Matt Court, we have their logo. It kind of worked out because of the O, and we are the Olympic Decathlon, so there you go. School history, this is one thing that I could not edit from here. So this is the University of Bradley. So Bradley is the college that I took over that was in this Conference F. So they are the ones that were replaced. So this is their history. They have 2 conference championships. I have 9 in my 21 seasons. This, though, is the budget that we will be working with, so after paying the assistant coaches, we'll have $45,000 available for recruiting. And I am in sandbox mode because this is about the school's road to glory, not necessarily about my coach's road to glory. So I'm not looking to leave this school. I will always stay with this school, and I'm trying to bring this school all the way up through the ranks to the top of these rankings, top of the NCAA March Madness tournament rankings as in a national champion, and of course all the way up to Conference A. That is our target. So within my conference and these restructured NCAA tournament leagues, I have Southern Illinois, Marshall, Fresno State, New Mexico State, Rhode Island, Alabama, Birmingham, Boise State, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, North Carolina, Greensboro, Georgia State, myself, Wyoming, St. Joe's, and Virginia Commonwealth, along with Northwestern. So this is the group that has fit in here. And now I have not even taken a look at my roster yet. We'll get to that in just a moment. Recruit class rankings. I would imagine this is from the previous season, maybe? And this will be our opening tasks. But let's jump into a couple other things. I have my strategy. We're going to be running a flex, Princeton, and 5-out offense with a little more emphasis on the Princeton offense. We're going to work a little more on transition than a full run of that offense. So about 40% of the time we'll be in the offense, 60% we'll be trying to push that ball and just go with the flow. On the defensive side of the ball, we'll be in man-to-man coverage about 2/3 of the time with a 1-2-2 zone. And then our press set is man-to-man about 40% of the time with a 1-2-1-1 press, 60% of the time. The coinciding practice plan puts a little more emphasis on the Princeton, the man-to-man, and the 1-2-1-1 press. I am a little bit nervous, though, about how spread out I am on how long it's going to take to get players familiar with this. That could have a downfall, and I might need to kind of get down to 2 offensive sets, maybe 1 basic defensive set and 1 pressure defensive set, or maybe just a couple options, or cut this from 4 down to 3 anyway. Cut that from 3 down to 2, and that'll allow me a little more practice time to devote in specific areas. Coaching assignments here are my assistant coaches. I've got Drew Adams. I switched him from recruiting to practice. He is better at recruiting at a 38 than my third assistant coach. However, he is higher on player development, offense, defense, and I'm more worried about the progression of the team year by year, while I've got good recruiting stats by this point after playing 21 seasons. So I myself handle the bulk of the recruiting. And finally, let's take a look at the roster. This is my first look at this since getting everything set up. By the way, the game just launched literally today, just this morning. I had to wait for the update to go through to go from the beta into the live 1.0 version. And so here we are. This is a beautiful sunny day with snow-covered ground and a very happy about that, at least for me living in the Northwest. It's been a couple years since I've seen some snow. We did have some snow last year, and I was off at the coast at the time and didn't get to see any snow. All right, so it looks like I've got a team of nothing but players out of Oregon, so they did reset that when I started up. So they're not all from Indiana. I suppose that's a good thing, which would be where Peoria... Oh, no. Is that Illinois? Peoria? Oh, no. Now I'm forgetting. Well, that's where Bradley's from anyway. But they have reset that to make it local kids. GPA is quite good. Everybody above a 3.0. And let's see, how balanced are we? Well, I'm very old at the point guard position and the shooting guard. We've got one a little bit younger at small forward, and there's 4 of them. How many? I've got 2 walk-ons. One at shooting guard, one at center. Let's see, power forward a little thin there, and 1 junior and 1 freshman, so that makes it potentially even thinner depending on their skill. So a little worrying on that part, that we are definitely thin at some positions and quite old at some positions. But let's see those overall ratings. So I have a senior point guard who's a 4.0 rating, so 4 stars. I've got a small forward junior who's also 4 stars, so we'll be relying pretty heavily on those guys. I also have another small forward, a senior, who is 3.5 stars. May play him out of position, or one of them out of position at power forward from the lack of inequality there. So one of these guys is probably going to play down. Shooting guard senior, 3 stars, and point guard. I've got 2 options here, both upperclassmen, both 2 stars. So I'm going to be weak at the point guard position and power forward position, but like I said, one of these guys hopefully can play down at power forward. But we definitely don't have any depth. Any depth at all. I mean, 2 stars and above, there's only 7 players. So we're going to be not using that bench a whole lot. And there's not much potential in these players either. So in terms of what I left behind, this team is nowhere near as good as the team that I had. So it's going to take me some years of recruiting to pull in some better players to replace the current roster, because this is not an imported roster. You can import rosters from DraftKings Sports College Basketball 2018, but I was playing 2017. So there you have it. All right, so we are on to buying our reports. So these are scouting reports, scouting packages. If you've never seen the game, I'm going to assume that I'm going to have a mix of people carrying over from the previous series, the 2017 series, which I won't spend much time talking about that once we kind of get things off and running. And by the way, if you do want to see that series, you are more than welcome to. I've got the entire series still on YouTube and available, so be sure to check my channel to find that if you want to go back and see the entire series, or if you want to simulcast and watch kind of both at the same time. But with a good team budget, I've definitely got some money to spend. We are in the West, so I might go for a basic West package. That could get me a decent amount of information on these guys. So let's go with just that. That'll save me plenty of money to spend on recruiting.
You have new mail.
Okay, summer travel. Do I want to go to the West Camp in Las Vegas? Oh, sure, why not? We do have some money to spend. I'm not going to attend any of the others. We are very much going to be recruiting local with the low prestige that we have. But with my ability in recruiting, I could probably recruit all over the West, I would think.
You have new mail.
Based on my coaching attributes being right where I left off, I should be able to recruit throughout the West. we're definitely not a national brand. So we're ready to get into recruiting. And from the looks of it, I really need to fill every position. I'm going to have quite a few seniors on the way out, so that'll be a good thing. But honestly, I need to recruit every position, as I have, one 4-star guy who's a junior, so he'll be back for one more year. But otherwise, I've got no quality within the team. So recruiting-wise, I will spread myself out and look to any and every position this year, including the one where I'll have that guy as a senior next year, because I could always move somebody over a position like I'm planning to do for this year if need be. So we are ready to jump into recruiting. Now, my objective for this playthrough is to continue to move up the ranks, as I did in the previous one. We're all the way up to tier 6 already, but it's going to be difficult to stay there. The way this promotion relegation works, before I jump back into the recruiting, there are 4 promotions and 4 relegations each season, unless you're in that top or bottom tier, where that that other end would be eliminated from that as a possibility. So 4 promotions. Now, if they work this the same as they did in the 2017 edition, I'm going to assume that they do, and I'll have to double check on the first season, make sure that's what happens. At the end of the regular season, the conference rankings, so not your overall record, but your conference record, the top 3 teams in the conference are automatically promoted for the next season. The 4th promotion spot goes to the conference tournament winner. If one of the top 3 teams do that, it's the highest placed team. And then tiebreakers go down, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, highest placed team in the conference tournament that's not one of those top 3. The bottom 4 teams at the end of this season in the conference record are all relegated. This first season, from the looks of my roster, I'm probably just going to need to make sure that I don't get relegated. I doubt that I'm going to get promoted this season. It's going to take me that couple of years 2 or 3 years really, to get things on track in that department with bringing in my players. At the end of the other playthrough, I was recruiting extremely well, regularly getting players within the top 100, but with low prestige, I didn't have very good coaching, and so we weren't developing players to 5-star recruits. I was getting mostly 4-star guys kind of by the end, by their juniors and senior years. And that's why I wasn't quite getting that deep into the tournament. But that last season, I finished up ranked 11th in the nation. That was the highest I've ever gotten. Alright, now back to this. So, recruiting, I believe, still works the same as it did in the 2017 edition, or at least very similarly. I've noticed a couple minor things. But we'll take this off. We'll see if there's anybody with interest here to begin. There are some. Big thing that I'm looking at, though, is the ranking. And most of these guys are way below where I want them to be. But there are a few players up here that are pretty decent. So we'll go ahead and add them to our, there it is, call list and watch list. And yes, okay, that is the next one on the list. And there's 3 guys inside the top 500. Let's see, your GPA is 2.8. I suppose we'll add you to the list. Maybe you'll surprise us. I don't know how good or bad we'll be in recruiting early on, but I'll take that first handful of guys. Now the real search, though. Okay, this is everybody at the moment. We're going to cut this list down to just the West. So for the next few seasons at least, we'll be recruiting not nationally, but within the West. I'm definitely not going to get these guys in the top 25 or so. So we'll start here, or at least I don't expect to in this first season. I have gotten players on the edge of the top 25. I gotta keep an eye on GPA like this. A 1.8 GPA, he is not going to qualify for our school guaranteed. In the past, 2.6 was my limit, but now that our SAT score has risen by another 20 points, we might be at about a 2.7 minimum for guys to qualify. 2.4 is not going to be enough. I do need to keep an eye on whether these are high school seniors or whether they are junior college transfers, where they only need to be above a 2.0. And I could certainly use at least one JC transfer. There you go. JC sophomore, but 2.1 puts them right on the edge. I'm not going to mess with that. We have high academic standards. He would likely fall below and be ineligible. That last one was a 2.6, wasn't he? That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Let's go ahead and remove him. There's another one at 2.1, 1.8, 2.3. Let all those go. 2.7. I call that my minimum for now. We'll see if those guys qualify or not. You don't see it till January, so you waste all that time and effort when they're unlikely. Now here's a junior college transfer at a 2.7, meaning he should, theoretically, maybe with some help, keep his grades up high enough to remain eligible. Okay, I'm going to get to about 350 on these guys, and then we'll stop. No, we'll let that one go. Another one. If they were from Oregon, where it's cheaper to recruit, I might add them to the list. Okay, there's 350. Alright, so I have a list now to work with. Okay, can I go back to national? There we go. And we want to go to my watch list. Alright, so here is my list starting with top 30. Now I have 5 scholarships available. So that could work out perfectly if I do sign all 5. That's one guy to each position is what I will be targeting. And as of right now, I have no information on these players besides what came in the package, which shows stats. That's about it. And GPA. And that certainly helped. So I'm going to watch film. And I can only do that 10 times. So I'll watch film on the first 10 players. That's going to give me a first look at all of their attributes. And then I'm going to switch to call list. And then here's where I do a lot of my recruiting. So I need to get parent info. I need to get pitch information on how to pitch them on coming to our school. And then based on kind of the results of that, I start determining who to go after along with those skill ratings. So call player, and these guys aren't into me, but luckily I'm a decent recruiter. So I ask him to give me some time, and this guy, first one right off the bat, decides to give me a shot. That's not going to happen all that often. Now this year they've got it a little backwards. They go straight into pitch categories where it used to always be parent info. I actually kind of like it this way. Wow, that used up a lot of call time. So apparently it's a different value now than it used to. Wow, he's going to give me a shot too. Okay, wow, just like that I get everything. And we'll get the parent info. Nope, he hung up on us. Oh no, we ran out of time. So I only got 2 calls in. That is interesting. Very interesting. So there's definitely less time than there used to be in past seasons. And you got this stuff unlocked quite quickly once you got decent at recruiting. So it's good to know that that's going to play out differently. And now, because both of them gave me time, I have a single plus. Triple plus is, if it's still the same way, the highest that goes. And I think we're ready to advance into the next week.
You have new mail.
So we are into July. Preseason now, heading into our first season here. And that's some pretty good ratings. These top 3 guys would be ideal targets, as they all, at least on first glance, are all A's. One thing I always try to target with my teams is getting good defense. So if they are an F at defense, they're an automatic see you later, go bye-bye. And most Ds get removed as well, unless they're like Redden here, where he's so good in other areas that you kind of deal with that, because that can really boost a small team, small program. Looks like we made some progress with Young here as well, through my coaching staff. And let's go ahead and continue straight away with our recruiting for now. I'm on call list, so let's go straight into these guys. So Burns, I got his location through my coaching staff, so they are getting some work done. That's nice. Back to the parent info. There we go. And I don't need interest level. I know we are not on his top 10 at this point. But location is big, and he is from Hawaii. The thing about Hawaii is there's only one college in game for them to attend if they're from Hawaii. So your neighboring state, the state that touches, gets a boost, and I believe that we are considered a neighbor state, as in Oregon. Yeah, there's a very large pond in between us, but we are considered to be nearby, so we actually would get a location boost here with Burns. And as he is an A, I'm actually going to go ahead right now, because we have decent facilities as well. I'm going to offer him a scholarship. There's one of our 5. It's not likely that we would get this guy, but it's certainly worth a shot. And speaking of the one university that's available to him, I didn't see whether he lives with his mother or father, but either way, he lives in a single-parent household, and they went to Hawaii, so and have a fair amount of influence. So that hurts a little bit, that he could easily end up going to Hawaii. But I believe we're a higher prestige school than they are, so we could steal him away. Alright, we already got all the way through this guy, but we didn't get the parent info, so I'll go ahead and give him a call and go for that. Okay, Gonzaga and Washington. From Reardon, Washington. So we'll get a good boost on location and facilities. We've got a shot at him as well. He's also a center. Oh, these top three guys are all centers. Interesting. Okay. Wow, I'm 3 for 3 on trying to get through to guys. That's amazing. This one cares about academics. 3.9 GPA. This is definitely good for me. He's from Wyoming. Were you on the "you were interested in me" list? I didn't think I had anyone ranked this high. Wyoming is... Okay, Wyoming's considered west. That's right, it is, isn't it? Well, that was all the call time we had, so we go back to the "you're watching" list. And go ahead and hit update. So my options will pop up, and then from there, we're going to go back and watch film on the next 10 guys so I can get that first look of everyone's attributes. Okay, and scouting live. I could look for somebody from Oregon. Do I have anyone on my list from Oregon? Wow, just one. Runyon. It's so much cheaper to scout guys from Oregon. So much cheaper. That's it. Just one. I might have to look up the Oregon list and see what is there. You know what? Let's do that. Yes, just one. That's all I had. But here's the rest of the list. 227. GPA is too low. Okay. We will add you to the list. You like us a lot. And you are very good on academics. We'll go ahead and scout. Even though you're down the list, you never know. You might be a diamond in the rough. Here's another one that likes us a lot. I suppose we'll give him a chance to. We'll add him to the list. We'll scout him. But that's it. I'm not going any further down that list. Okay, let's see whatever that email was. National camps. And let's advance things.
You have new mail.
Alright, so the Las Vegas review is coming up today. Okay, so we'll have some results there in a little bit. And let's see, I'm still getting used to this new UI. So recruit players. I was kind of looking elsewhere. Let's go to call list. Oh, okay, we still have not finished up this week.
You have new mail.
Now
you have new mail.
Recruiting's going on. And now you can see our list has grown significantly. In fact, I've got all but a couple guys an initial look already. Wow. Did they all attend the camp? A lot of them did. Really, just one player was not there or already scouted by me? That is shocking. Okay, we're on call list. So we've already got Burns done. Sinville. Okay, Redden. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, that's everything on him. On to Cooper. Ah, there you go. There's the first one that hung up on us when we said, give me 5 minutes of your time. And he answered, but then hung up on us right after. This guy, I got help from the assistant coach on. And that's all the time we have. Okay, back to the watch list. Lots of single pluses at the top now. I've only got one guy left that we have nothing on. Here's my problem. I have all these guys that I only saw at the camp. So I suppose we'll start from the bottom, work our way up, watch some film on these guys. It could change quite a few of these ratings, and it'll give us a better idea.
You have new mail.
Okay, just running camps right now.
You have new mail.
Now recruiting. Okay, it's a dead period, so not much is going to happen here. Alright, let's see. I'm on watch list. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my first review. And you can already see there's 4 guys here that do not play defense at all. They're coming off the list. So yeah, defense F. Goodbye. Okay. I'll leave the D's on there for now until I get another look at them. Some of them may end up being C's. Could end up being higher ranks, but I've at least got that first look at everyone now. Do I have anybody who's completely incapable of putting the ball in the basket? There are a couple that are really bad. They are also both D's on defense. There's Blevins. That was the guy who really likes me. But yeah, if he can't score or defend, he does not belong on this list. So we're going to get those guys both off of there. Alright, the list is a little bit on the scary side of short at the moment. Oh, hold on. Before I switch... Oh, I am on call list. Never mind. Never mind. Let's do this first. Alright, so this guy hung up on us last week. Let's see if he'll give us some time this week. No. Still not interested. Ah, we've got through to this. Oh, that's right. We got through to him, and then he hung up on us right away. Miller got a little bit further. So he's not paying attention. There you go. Got the information on him. Location matters. He's from Wyoming. That's not good. Academics do matter a bit. He's going to be a difficult recruit for us to get. He's a C. He's a D on defense. I'm going to let that guy go. He's just one of those players that it's not going to come together. Okay, we ran out of time, but we did get through to him. Now, I have, let's see, just 2 players that are seen at... Well, let me get another look at all the... Well, he's also really good at D, so... even though I already have a scholarship offer out to a center, these are the 2 best guys. So I might as well try to target both of them. And let's go to the watch list for a moment. And let's get a second time of watching film on all these guys. It'll give me some updates. Okay, so McKeever is where I've left off on that. Okay, so
You have new
recruiting
mail.
straight away. We left off with McKeever, so we're gonna go right on down and scout these guys again. And Field is where we left off. And then we'll go on to the call list portion. And with Cooper, we'll just keep on calling him till he gives us the time of day, because you never know. We might be able to recruit him. Facilities and academics are both high on Andy West. That's good for us. We're out of call time for this week. Again, I left off with Field.
You have new mail.
Who did not recruit yet.
You
Still
have new
running
mail.
camps. There we go. Now we're recruiting. Okay, so Field is who we left off with, so we're on to Britian. There's probably going to be new rankings here very soon, somewhere right after this week. So these rankings are going to change. Guys are going to move up or down based on, well, recruiting, really. So let's go with the watch list part first, before I forget. Alright, so Cruz was the final guy. There's only 3 left. Jefferson, Krimmel, and Scholl. Jefferson actually looks pretty decent. A player on first look. And I have a feeling that because it's July 31st, I really think that these rankings are about to change. So oh, it's quiet period. Never mind. I was going to say, ability-wise, he was worth spending a little money on to go look, but can't do that. So let's go to that call list. And I know I've got the first couple guys all the way through. First 3 guys. Cooper's the first one. Ah! Okay. My assistant coach got through to him. And we got everything. And there you go. Like I was saying, it is possible to recruit this guy. So just because they keep hanging up on you doesn't mean to give up on him. Just a little bit of time left. Alright, let's check those emails first. It should all just be summer camps. Okay, straight into recruiting again. And yes, we've reached the end of the month. Okay, the autosave appears to be a little bit slower than it was in the 2017 edition. But there it goes. Alright, here are the preseason candidates for Player of the Year. And it's a player out of Kansas who's the favorite. Well, one of the Zags is second, and I'm definitely not going to be anywhere near this list. And yes, there are new rankings. So Scholl and Krimmel are still on the bottom. Wow, their interest dropped quite a bit. Scholl, we're the favorite for Scholl. But Scholl's not very good, so not necessarily the favorite for me. Krimmel, and the other one was Johnson, yes. I think that's who that was. Ooh, see, now they've moved up to a B, but their defense dropped to a D. Maybe it wasn't Johnson. Was it Jordan? Well, let's see, what was your ranking before? No. That was not the one. Jefferson. That's who it was. Yes, Jefferson. So we'll watch film on Jefferson. And then next week I'll have gotten an updated skill ratings on all of the players. And then if I need to drop somebody, we'll drop then. But I'm also at that point where it's time to start offering out those other scholarships. Kind of seeing where we're at. So, call list, yes. Now that rankings are different, I don't know if it's the same guys on top. Okay, so Miller is kind of the first one I need to work on at this point. Facilities and parent info. And that takes care of Miller. Now it's Andy West. Andy West has looked pretty good so far in that prospect department. Didn't get the parent info. He hung up on me. He has hung up a little bit each week. But again, that has nothing to do with weather. Whoa, Runyon. Runyon. Oh, Runyon. Power forward. Jacksonville, Oregon. Oh, that helps. That helps. He is a good scorer. Decent with the ball for a post player. Defense is okay. He's got a good inside shot. He is a B overall. This is not a great player, but he can certainly score. And I think I'm lacking a power forward at this point, and that's a pretty high recruit, high ranking, and we're in his top 10. So, Runyon, I'm going to go right now and offer a scholarship, and then we will see if we can't get everything else on him. Oops. Okay, so location matters, and it's Oregon. So home state, academics matter, facilities matter. This is absolutely somebody that I can recruit. I have a feeling that Runyon might be the very first signee we get. In fact, since we are already in his top 3, I'm going to see... hosting a recruit is a dangerous thing, at least in that last version or in the 2017 version, because it was too easy to ask somebody to come to the school and have them turn you down because you're not high enough up their list, and then you never get the opportunity, even if you rise up that list later on. So my general rule of thumb, and it doesn't work every time, but if they are in the top 3, then you can take the risk of hosting Recruit. So this could be our first Recruit. And that would take care of the power forward position. No time left for calls. That actually could be why I didn't get the parent info out of... Oh, no, I did. I got it. Okay. So actually, that is why they hung up on us. We got the info. We were just out of call time. Okay, so one more week, and I'll have the update here. And we'll see how the visit goes. But then I'm going to be out of time for this first episode of the series. I'm going to be doing some additional recruiting off camera. And then... So, 2 stars on the interest. That's a good thing, right? Here we go. Coach, I just want to let you know that it was a cool visit. I like the campus and the people. It'll be tough for me to make up my mind, but I'll let you know when I do. So that's a good sign. That is a good sign. I think Runyon may just sign with us. I don't know who that number 1 is on his list, and it very well could have been like one of his parents' alma maters or something along those lines. Let's take a look again here. So again, we're second on his list, not first. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. So I will continue recruiting off camera, and September, October, November, right around the corner. And we'll be getting into the season. Hopefully by then, we will have Runyon and maybe 1 or 2 other recruits already signed for the upcoming year. But we'll get into the season at the beginning of the next episode. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.